my what's up? Let me hold the mic, but I wanna eat though. I'll have to make this work. One hand, I gotta eat. But I hope everyone is good. Everyone is well. Hope you enjoyed your what is it? Tuesday? What fucking day is it? All right, let's hop through it. Uno momento. All right. So like 2 weeks ago, we had that chapter where Enkidu Belleria tried to like take over Bam's body. That was silly. You can't devour the devourer. What were you thinking? You weren't. And we saw that line that we've seen many times throughout the Tower of God series. And it seems to represent V in some capacity. We don't know if it's literal, a vestige of his power, some type of ability masquerading as V. And for a long time, you guys were constantly talking about V's return and things of that nature. And I tended to dismiss it and be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I was wrong. So obviously, when was the first time? I can't remember the first time. I think I could just remember times we've seen it. But I actually believe I remember seeing it even in the second season. We just didn't really know its significance. There's another thing that I vaguely remember, like a rising sun or setting sun. That's also a representative of Bam's power in some symbolic fashion, but I can't recall exactly what it is yet and when I saw it. But like, I really would like to do a reread. I just don't have the time. But if someone knows the first time we saw it, whether you see this on YouTube or you see this now here, let me know. So I asked you guys for all of your commentary, thoughts, opinions, theories, prognostications, the whole nine about V. So I'm going to read all your comments, respond to them with what I think, and we'll see if we can figure something out. Like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell down so the Ghost of the 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. Let's hop right in. Oh yeah, I was doing my taxes. I don't remember it nor the rising sun. I don't remember that Bam had a glowing red orb inside Bam. Maybe the orb is what I'm thinking of, not the sun. Maybe it's an orb. But no, that weird like ground with a line that's sort of lit up. It's like a crevice in like a I don't say crater. Crater's too big, but you know what I mean? Like the V line, like I've seen that before. I know I've seen it. And I think the last chapter is the first time I can recall ever really seeing it outside of Bam's inner world thing, but my memory's trash. All right. Gustang was right. This man was a scumbag. It just didn't make sense. He took his own life like that and left Arlene. I need to reread, but is it worth it? That's like, that's the thing. It's like, will it, not us being exactly lock and step. Like, I really want to reread it and just kind of take some notes, but it's like, will it matter? Will it be worth my effing time, you know? I'm totally with you. Totally am. How do I feel about this? Quickie 17. I feel like we don't have enough information yet to immediately go down this route. We don't even know if he took his life for sure yet. So let's reserve judgment, but fair enough. I am a big supporter of the theory Bam is Zahar's son because Gustang never said that he's the son of V. There's no clue that he is evil or worse than Zahar, who is the worst human being in the tower. Is he though? I'm just asking questions. Is he? I ain't got no face. So my theory is this. After Bam was killed, V discovered that he is not his son, so he became very angry at Arlene, and we know that Arlene became crazy, and everything on her pocket are the world of crazy women. So I think she killed V in despair because she was regretting it. She decided to reincarnate him on her baby body. That could create a lot of tension and drama because V would be on the body of the son of his worst enemy, Bam. of worst enemy Bam would be destroy the revelation, and V could take advantage of him. Truly, that could lead to an amazing, and with a Bam at his worst and V becoming the true god of FUG for a time, and an arc where his friend could try to wake him up. So for a time, we could interest our Wagnan for a time. Let me unblock that. What does it say? Hold on. How do I allow the comment? Hold on. Can I do it from here? Yeah, allow. Yeah, it's fine. My bad. Did it not work? Did it work now? Pretty sure white is worse than Zahard. I mean, based on what we know for sure, but this community. Sometimes they just have something in their brain and in their head, and there's just no way of like swaying them otherwise. Like, this is my headcanon, this is my belief, and I will take all circumstantial evidence to continue to build that belief up or like believe it. I'm personally not a fan of the Zahard is Bam's son theory. I just, there's a part of me that feels it doesn't make sense when I think about how he reacted to seeing him on the hidden floor, but fair enough. White is more directly responsible for a tragedy, meanwhile Zahard's army does most of the dirty work. No, like it's one of those things where like I get why someone would call Zahard that, but it's like we don't know what everyone's ever done in the story. Like, yeah, Zahard's the king, he rules it, all of his people are going crazy, and he's created the system and whatnot. But it's like, what if hate on us does something crazy? What if, like, sometimes I feel like we need more information before we make like a powerful generalized statement like that. But I mean, fair enough in the end. Lucky for you, it looks like B, which is in his father. So that pretty much cements your theory that Bam is another man's child. I'm not getting to the replies. People on our side be doing genocides too. Remember the situation at the cage? No, that's fair. That's fair. Now it's making sense how Bam managed to give Mazzino a little scar. Oh, brother. This is what we're doing? No, we're not doing that. The way I see it, when Zahard came to kill Bam and V ended up killing himself or in suspended animation, since we don't know if he can be killed. Arlene dragged both bodies to the outer god, and when the baby we know as Bam revived, he needed V's essence to be able to form, and Bam absorbed V. Which is why Arlene looks at Bam, according to Rachel, as a monster meant to devour the tower, and why Bam was locked away in that cave. So you go with the outside god theory. You take both bodies. Bam's the knight, I guess, absorbs V. And the whole purpose is destruction of the tower and to lock it, okay? And that's why he was in a cave. You're saying he was locked away and or sealed. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Willie, said, I think is either V, when he died with the help of Shinsu, managed to transfer his powers consciousness into a close being, that being his dead son, who is not Bam. I believe that, or reincarnation. I actually do think that Bam being the final boss or the true monster in the tower everyone is saying may be true. That's why the Sword of Wagnan said to probably kill Bam. You said, of course, I already read yours. I mean, I did not. I feel like I just read it, but I didn't dislike what you had to say though. Basically, what I said to your comment, Obama, was that you're going with the outside God theory. Both Arlene dragging both bodies, and then Bam devouring V, I guess, to get stronger or revive himself, whatever the case is, and then he becomes like the. Cause I know, like, I don't know how important the line is, but I always remember that like Rachel and people were afraid of him, calling him a monster, saying like he is the knight, but he could also mean chestnut. But yeah, it was a good comment. Ironically, Rachel is on the lower side when it comes to the amount of blood on her hands. Yeah, but ultimately, for a lot of these things, I think it's going to be very much related to your own personal moral compass and ethical code. And not all of us have the same ethical code. You know, some people will believe in like the death penalty, and some people wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I see Mazina versus V upcoming. Did I see something? Oh, okay. With that latest chapter, is V coming back? The mark in Bam or whatever was like he will return. Indeed. What if the voice speaking to Enkidu was the son of Arlene and Bam before Zahard killed him? So this is like the original version before I guess the outside god revived him. Meaning Bam is basically a mixture of that child and whatever the outside god did, justifying him being called a monster by Rachel. Interessante. That line has always stuck with me because I always wondered if Rachel was lying because of jealousy or if Arlen really felt that way. I'm with you. It's stuck in my craw for over a decade, bro. Like I think about it all the time. My bad, I'm eating, so I don't know. I think really I'm starting to only wrap my head around the V stuff, which is really why I wanted everyone's opinion. You know? Okay. I was surprised about the V thing in general. Wonder where it's going to go because I got zero clue. That's a bit of my concern. I don't know that I'm interested necessarily in like B and B. But B and V makes sense, but Bam and V fighting for like body supremacy. But again, execution is everything, you know? As long as you execute it well, it's fire. Oh, I read that already. Okay, let's keep going. Bam is not V's son. He is probably V's clone like Wagner and those captains to Jihad. So Bam is a clone. The only pushback I have, while I find it interesting, B and V are often interchangeable in Japanese. Do I know that? Did I know that? Anyways, hold on. My train of thought. What I just read? But if Bam's a clone of an irregular, the same way Wagner could be a clone of an irregular, is it because Arlene took him out and brought him back in? Like, his irregular status is the thing that's throwing me off. Like, I don't think cloning an irregular makes you one. You'd still be like an in-tower created being. That makes sense? You get what I'm saying? Okay. It's my boy Scobe. So based off what we have been given so far, here's what I'm thinking. Bam was killed by Jihad. After this occurred, V may have seen a future or have been told of a future in which his son was alive. Although for this to occur, it required him to die and return to Shinsu. So that's the thing we saw with like the chapter with Trauma Rave doing the necrophilia and evil becoming stronger, blah, 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 revolution. What was left behind was his corpse and maybe a crystal similar to the essence of bravery that contained the essence of and power given via revolution. As a result, V was corrupted. What remained was his name and negative emotions, regrets. Arlene escapes the tower with both Bam's corpse and keepsakes of V, Crystal, and finds the outside god who fulfills the future V foresaw. I wonder if V left Arlene in the dark, knowing her depression and grief would lead her to fulfill the future he foresaw. This is a bit muddled by the fact that Arlene's pocket that was left behind knew about Bam's prophecy, although this could be explained by upon exiting the tower, she made the deal with the outside god. As a result, she learned of Bam's prophecy. She also may have learned why V made the decision that he did, or she heard the negative emotions from the crystal screaming for revenge and she took it as V's desire. Arlene then decided to leave her pocket behind for others to find. Whether V fights for control of Bam's body or awakens from the corruption and aids his growth is yet to be seen. I would put money on the latter over the former. Well said. Okay, I like this one. Also, I like that it's English. I don't find it reasonable that Arlene dragged two bodies to the outside god while subsequently looking for the exit. I propose V helped Arlene exit after Jihad killed Bam, and V killed himself after finding the outside god for unknown reasons as of right now. This could also add context to why Arlene went mad. I don't know if anyone's going to say this, but I remember talking to one of my cousins because he cut up the Tower of God at the beginning of this year. Honestly, most of them support me, so like shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, cousin. I really appreciate it. Most of them support me, and he's reading Kubera right now. But what did he say to me? He said that he feels like the condition to get out of the tower is probably a sacrifice. For Arlene to escape the tower, V had to spill his own blood, and whatever method it is to leave the tower. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. I can't remember what he told me verbatim, but it was something along those lines, kind of like a door that can't be opened without actually killing somebody for it to open. You know what I'm saying? Like a magical ancient door. Okay. I don't think this is the original V, whether it's not someone else using his name, but this is the real V. This is the real V, but he was corrupted. He merged with the outside god, kind of like how Enkidu does or whatever, but I don't think he's the same guy who climbed the tower. But I'm excited to see what happens next. I think Ghost isn't some irregular or something. He was just made by Hadon. Since everyone should be able to use Shinwan Ryu, irregulars aren't an exception with their Shinsu use. Tower borns are just restricted. Okay. You said could be. If V sacrificed herself so she can get out to revive Bam, it would be crazy. Maybe it's a thing where it could be a punishment for trying to leave the tower without finishing the tower. And that's what caused V to die, maybe? Hadon probably did some F shit to screw over V when it came to finding the exit for Arlene. I'm with you. I think who said it earlier? Was it William Martinez? Somebody thinks that Bam's gonna be like, a lot of people think Bam will be the final boss, right? Like, I think it's Hadon. Like, I think Hadon's the real Tower Menace. Like when the dust settles and the 13 blah blahs be like, Hadon, it was you? It was like, yeah, that's what I think. My theory is that isn't actually V because he said, call me V. It didn't straight up say it was V. I think it's just his memories and powers, and it needs to be returned to his actual body from the come back. As for his actual body, it's probably Ghost or hidden somewhere in the tower. You guys really think Ghost is connected to V, eh? See that a lot, bro. What's up, Lizard? What's going on, bro? Lizard with the secret information, bro. I gave him top secret knowledge about my life. I just remembered seeing that blog post where Urek asked Gustang how to exit the tower.
Yay.
And the method Gustang explained was so
Peace,
complex,
peace.
Urek said, I'll sooner dig my way out with a spoon than understand what he's saying. Floor of Death, right? After spatial distortion. Yo, 1 year plus in, my boy. Thank you. I appreciate you. As Sibi would say, you have paid your citizen tax. Not to steal his whole flow. That damn New Yorker. New York stinks. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Thinking Arlene and the Outer God made a deal. Using V's soul and Bam's body as a vessel for his power, it seemed like Bam was always stealing V's soul, though. Because back versus Daz Jihad, when he accepted his power, he drew the line, which I think was breaking the seal. That might be the first time we saw it. No, was it the hidden floor? When Daz Jihad said that he had the power of an administrator when he's in his true self mode. The two horns, he stabbed himself with the red Thressa or whatever. Was that the first time? I know we've seen it saw it at least once in the second season though. It might be possible to dig out the tower on some prison food, but the administrator will stop you if you try. What's up? Hi. Hi, I know who you are. Don't worry, secret safe with me unless someone want to pay a good price. Whoa, so it's not safe then. You're a capper. How do I mod you? There. Now you have question asking powers. Now you ain't got no face, but you got question asking powers now. Enjoy them. Use them wisely or not. You could be a tyrant. I allow you to run amok. The hidden floor was the first time Bam created that line and decided to use power. Okay, Pantagano, we got the answer now. That's the answer. It was, I guess, the hidden floor. The sword art arc, as Simi would call it. I've always been highly suspicious of everything Garam talked about on the floor of death. We know you can change the name in the pocket, yet Garam just seems to take it at face value that the pocket she found was really Arlene's, and that the so-called diary entries weren't planted or tampered with. Then Bam shows up and Garam just decides that he is the chosen one without giving any actual reason or proof why she thinks that. She essentially just decides without any evidence. With the current arc being all about fabricated history, I'm even more convinced that the little we do know may not be accurate or may be a red herring. That's intriguing. That's intriguing because a lot of the history that we've been seeing with the family heads right now have been about uncovering the truth, because the truth has been obfuscated. Where was that? So maybe I don't know though. I feel like Garam definitely believed it though. Like I don't know if she's lying or like maybe she got tricked, but I don't think that Garam was like devious. I think she just spouted what she thought she knew though. What if the pocket was planted by someone to further fabricate history? Arlene trying to bring a child back to life may not even be true. Maybe it was always about bringing V back somehow in order to give him an edge over Zod. I like it. Saved from the reread. I wonder if V can come back. Would he consider Bam his son, or would he consider a monster who defecated his son's body? Yeram and Arlene's pocket. She had more info than most in the tower. Indeed. Yeram also got info from N, so she did check her sources. That's like actually true. I know. I'm gonna have to just revisit that part a little bit. But all right, fair enough. So the series is simple, but it's long as hell. It's not simple. Maybe it is, but it just takes time. Oh, good lord! All right, here we go. It's time for an essay. The theory is simple. It is not originally mine. I saw it on Twitter and found the most compelling to me, so I added some other things to make it make more sense. It goes a little something like this. Run away, love. Da-da-da. After Z killed Arlene's child, V saw how bad it affected Arlene and decided to give his life for that baby. When Arlene found the way outside the tower and made the deal with the outside god, she offered V's soul as a price to revive the child, but something happened when the child was revived. Arlene realized what the power of the outside god was, the sun that devours all, and called the child a monster. We get this through Rachel when she told Bam Arlene was always called Bam a monster. The reason V died was to provide his soul as an offering to the outside god as an exchange for his dead son, but it was not the reason. But it was not for that reason only that V died. He also had a Theresa like the other great warriors through the blue flames he received from the god of guardians, which we saw in the flashbacks. And his Theresa contained his essence, power, and memory, which could make it no different as V himself. So V wanted his child to have his Theresa, which could also contain his will and power, and his child would benefit from the Theresa during climbing, as he would acquire knowledge and experience from it and know all the truth regarding what happened, and it would also help in open. What's this a run-on sentence though? Please, this is I'm okay. Where was I at? He cooking though, but my boy, we need periods, my friend. Experience from the tower. What happened? Wait, sorry. Something. Open the door as it contains the memories of V. It includes how to open the door to the tower, but it happened a different way Arlene and V had anticipated, because Arlene prophesied that the power outside the outside god would enter his dead child and awaken the child again. So when the power entered, it resulted in Bam, not the original child, which was the outside god himself, reincarnated in the child's body with no memories of himself, and the outside god therefore having two souls at once, but one sleeping, not conscious. And when Arlene realized what had happened, she gave her second prophecy, which Rachel told Bam later in the tower that he is a monster that will curse the tower. Okay. Yo, hold on a second. Was this paragraph one sentence, brother? Somebody help me. Somebody help. Make your own period. Stop letting another man dictate when you're gonna take a pause. You a grown ass man. He right. He right. All right. The awakening of of V's dead son, and the Thrisa. As soon as the child was still young, he wouldn't have developed a personality, a stable will. Therefore, the son would be the one to dominate the soul as it is fully grown, being carrying V's will and personality. When Bam did revolution with the god of guidance, he realized that the sun was his power, and the blue Thresa told him so, and he also realized it. But when he did revolution again with Kun and Dwan, Bam did something which affected the other soul inside of him. He created a line which said it was his power when Bam already had his real power, the sun, and the line resonated with another soul inside Bam, brought forth the power of the other soul inside Bam, but the soul wasn't awoken yet. Rather, the power, which would probably be the black Shinsu, which could be the V Shinsu quality. After this, another major factor was needed to awaken the soul complete, which I think is the extreme resentment, as it is the greatest emotion V felt when he died. And if someone with extreme resentment touched the soul through the line, the soul would be awoken again, which Enkidu/Belarier did. Although I changed the theory a little bit, but the person who created the theory said that SLU had been foreshadowing this with Yura's brother in the hidden world with the big breeder, where they took over the dead child's body of Yura's mother, but this time around it was different. Both the outside god and promised child were all in one body. And in that revolution in the hidden floor, SLU did some crazy foreshadowing. Bam found his sworn enemy, Data, who is Bam from FUG with the blue Thresa, and crazy enough, the FUG looking Bam was artificially made. Is it a coincidence for that time to there be two Bams and a fully grown Thresa? I think SU is foreshadowing what happened in the future. I can conclude with this. V's child with the Thresa was the one that Arlene prophesied once she was in the tower, who would return again to the tower, use the thorn to slit the king's throat, and it was him, which the tower accepted as the navigator question said, but it was not exactly what happened. The outside god ended up in the child's body, as well as the one who was in control of the body, who has zero memory of what he is or was. Even the naming is crazy. The outside god name is 25th Bam Night, and Arlene's child Viola Grace, Viola from Greek, Grace from my mother's side. Man, that was a long text, but that's the theory. I actually don't dislike it though. I like how you explained it. You put it out. You need to punctuate more on these periods, but all that being said, the part that intrigued me the most about this was you using the Yura and the brother situation in the hidden floor and the big beater thing. I wonder if there's more there. But well said. I like this. You get a hot. Have a hot. Do you think Mazzino will ever intel dump on Bam about the outside the tower? Maybe he even knows some information about Bam's situation in the cave, the prophecy. I'll say this. I think when we reach the Wolhike Sung floor, we'll learn more about it. I actually don't think Mazzino knows much about Bam, because he didn't know unless he's been doing research since he's met Bam. Remember when he originally met him? Sorry, 1 second. He didn't know he was in a regular. He just said, yo, there's a baby slayer in FUG. He kind of nice when he nicked him. Later on, during the floor of death, he started to put two and two together. And he's like, you're like us. You're in a regular. So that's really my pushback, where like he really didn't know. But he was able to piece together that Bam was in a regular, but didn't know anything about Bam specifically. So I do think we'll learn a lot more about the tower and like regulars, maybe the 13 warriors, and maybe Mazzino's journey and get more info and tidbit. I don't know that it'll be specifically about Bam's lineage and what he is, though. Unless he's been researching or having someone do it. A good point. He didn't have the clue who he was. I don't think Rick knows that much about the backstory of the 10 families and doesn't like talking to them. There's that, too. Okay. This theory is not mine, but it's an old one. Arc Young is V's dead body, which explains why he can use Shinwan Ryu. It is probably something related to the workshop and FUG and Heidam. Taking this theory into practice, what is inside Bam is V's mind or memories. Another comment I would like to make is about the omen that Garam mentioned to Endorsi on the floor of death. Garam said that Endorsi must choose between Bam, who will change the tower, or Bam as a person she loves. Knowing that some part of V is inside Bam, perhaps this means that in the future there will be a conflict in Bam's body to define who uses the body. And it is Endorsi who will decide the future of this. Another detail in Endorsi's speech in chapter 597, in which Endorsi responds to the machine that Bam is just Bam, when the machine asked who he was. Yes, Hiram, yes. Fair enough. Okay, so we still think Ghost. So do you think Ghost is a dead body and maybe he can return it to him? Okay, interesting. And then here you're saying Endorsi's decision. I don't know how much weight it still holds, but I remember the comment well because I'll give you the reason I'll tell you that is this. I don't think that Karaka and Yuri are going to really have any conflict moving forward. But remember when Yuri said, I feel like if I don't take this guy out now, this guy will become my greatest enemy. I just don't think that's going to be the case. So I don't know how much weight that's going to hold in the future, but we'll keep it in mind, though. Well said. If you think about it, the wreck is actually from the outside of the tower, while Bam, at best, lived at the equivalent of the underground parking garage beside the tower. Fair. I think if we do meet Urek again, we will find out more about the outside of the tower and Urek's attempts to get out of the tower. That's kind of where I'm at, maybe. And with that might come some lore, with the towers being made and whatever it is he found, maybe entering the tower and trying to escape the tower. But things about Bam and V and whatnot, I just don't think he knows any of that. I remember in chapter 597 when they said they asked the lamp-looking thing, said Bam wasn't the promised one. Now we finally know what it meant. It was V. He's the promised one and supposed to open the door again. Yep. Sorry. Water. I feel like Romeo. I know that you love me because you told me so. I feel like dancing. I feel like do-si-do. Alright. I think Gus Tank's statement, hold on, about B being the worst person he's ever met and Rachel's statement about Arlene calling Bam a monster can both be referring to the same thing. I don't really subscribe to the idea that Bam is V resurrected, but I can see him having been controlled by V at some point. We do know that Arlene supposedly tried to resurrect Bam. We don't really know how V actually died, so my headcanon right now is that Arlene might have actually killed V due to him becoming a completely different person as the war went on. She might have kept his body due to her feelings for V's personality before changing, but she might have actually tried to avoid him coming back. But that might have been a thing where V's power was necessary in one way or another for her son to be resurrected, leading to her having to deal with her son having a monster inside him, V, whom she hated at that point, therefore calling him a monster. That would also make sense, as the only time Bam used black Shinsu, which we assume is V's Shinsu quality, might have been when he woke up, giving Bam that power, which he didn't have access to after that, since it isn't really his. Bam first used black Shinsu on the hidden floor, and then I believe he used it again against white, so he used it twice. He didn't use it against Dumas, I don't think. It was more Leviathan and the Black March, but you need to start using text-to-speech. Oh, man. Where was I at, though? Black Shinsu quality, woke up. Might have woke up, giving Bam the power. I can also see that the reason that Rachel hated Bam, but still decided to spend time with him. She hated the monster, which she thought was Bam, but she might have noticed that the boy wasn't anything like Arlene told her he was, and that made her conflicted. I don't think Rachel knew the whole truth. Rather, a vision of Bam was her vision of Bam was all about V, and then she got to know him and realized he didn't seem like the monster Arlene told her about. As a more tinfoil hat part of this theory, I think V might have actually tried to somehow possess or use Bam, leading to the moment Zahar killed the boy, knowing it was V inside, since he recognized he killed Arlene's son, but not necessarily for the reasons we were told. It is interesting to think about the pot, giving them the power eventually corrupted every single one of them, including V, Arlene, who had to kill V and went bad because of all of that, but mainly because she could see herself being corrupted by this very same power as time went on. A different way to see it is that Rachel actually thinks Bam is the monster and admires V, all while knowing Bam's rage would awaken inside him. Hence, she might have actually gotten close to Bam so she can betray him and hurt him as much as possible. But I'm not that confident with the possibility since Rachel seems to have her own agenda but doesn't really center much around Bam that much. Also, as a side note, Hayden 100% knows about V inside of Bam and is using that to somehow advance his hidden agenda. Haydon is up to something, brothers and sisters, and they them's rise up, bro. We know Haydon's on demon time. We know about him. He's scheming and planning. I don't remember. Does Rachel know that Bam saved her life on the floor of death? Oh, when she got hit with the bee? I don't remember. I do remember the part where he goes, "I know we're enemies." That was kind of sad, but needed, necessary. Necesito. Okay, hold on. Sorry. All right, let's get it. I think V's Arlene's dead child and Bam was just a blank slate meant to be taken over. What I think happened is that the price for reincarnating her. Oh, sorry. That was a space. I'm like, why did it look like it censored something? That was weird. My bad. What I think happened is that the price for reanimating her child from the dead was the sacrifice of her own life to the outside god. Arlene wanted the monster to get revenge against Zahar and the 10 family heads and the tower itself. How Rachel knows about this is a longer, separate theory, but short version is that I think Rachel was supposed to be her child's guardian angel and caretaker. I also think Rachel is connected to V. According to the prophecy, the outside god was meant to bring back her dead child and continue the war Arlene and V started. However, Rachel didn't follow Arlene's wishes. Her interference gave the husk hopes, dreams, desires, and ultimately a personality and will of its own. Perhaps Bam entered the tower far sooner than he should have. Now there's two personalities in one body. That's interesting. So Rachel's teachings is the thing that gave him his moral compass, his ethical code, his belief system, his ideologies and philosophies on life, when it's supposed to just be this kind of like blah, neutral, blank canvas. But Rachel's teachings started to paint it and color it. Okay, I like that. I really like that. So what happens when Bam realizes he's an imposter who stole another person's body? I think this will shake up the status quo in TOG forever and will be a pivotal part of Bam's character. I think it will be interesting in combination of learning about V, the truth about Arlene's prophecy, and what Gustang reveals at the Great Game will be such a shock that Bam will retreat, giving V full control of his body. I think V taking control in general would be very interesting. How would Bam's companions react? How will the dynamic change? What does it mean for Bam's journey? In a sort of twist, we will start to root for Rachel as she tries to defeat this monster. For all we know, V isn't on our side. Maybe Loose Leg doesn't care about Bam at all and only cares about his god who yearns for the death of the family heads. V, perhaps, while Ryun has come to care about Bam as an individual, and that's why she gave him the option of running away, choosing to save someone she cares about over her god. In just a few panels, SAU managed to potentially change the trajectory of the story. Whatever it is, we'll learn not only the truth but Bam's backstory, but Bam's backstory, but Rachel's as well. What am I gonna say? I don't think Bam himself will give a damn if he learned that views inside him. If anything, he probably try to consume. I think he might care if it's his dad, you know. French tag. I ain't here speaking no French. Shake my head. You lied to us. Bonjour, monsieur. Maintenant, je suis en train de parler français. Est-ce qu'il y a un problème maintenant? Single language speakers talking to me? 2.5, 2.5 lingual. There's one thing here I want to comment on. I lost it though. Secret status quo, individual. I think the stuff with Hua Yun seems to be pretty consistent. It's interesting. I don't know that I like. I think that's how it's executed. I don't know that I like them fighting for the body or whatever. But you're part about us ending up rooting for Rachel. That's interesting. To defeat the monster. We'll see. He just said Kubera. What? No, I didn't. I ain't gonna post mine, but I'm glad the last 2 pages of the recent chapter was interesting. Here's to hoping it continues. Thank you. Don't waste my time. Like, do what the thing says. I don't think that power is V incarnation. It's a bit sketchy. Huarian said the power will awaken inside Bam, but I want to know, can that power fit all the space in Bam's body or remain as one of the objects? If it's the latter, then that power will just another thorn known as revenge spewed by V when he died. If it's the former, then we have some problem. This thing can go the bleach route. The bleach route. Why did this? Oh, damn it, I can't remember. What I'm curious about is if Arlene left the tower carrying the dead body of Bam and got resurrected by the outside god, how is V inside Bam? Didn't it happen after he entered the tower or when he got resurrected? It's highly unlikely V committed suicide, but there's more to the story than what we know and can't find to get the answers. Yep. When it comes to Bam, he said you're not good enough to get his V theory. He said I'm. You know who I am? Don't ask me no questions. I ain't got no face. When it comes to Bam, I do get why he doesn't want to immediately hate the family heads, because FUG has arguably caused him more direct harm than they did. Serious question: do y'all think Arlene is alive in the tower? And if so, doing what? I think if you had asked me this 5 weeks ago, I would have told you I think she's alive. Maybe sealed herself away because she went mod. But now I have a feeling somehow she's not around and V is around, or at least V can come back in some capacity. That's what I think. I think I've switched up to like V can maybe come back in some way. I don't know. Is she dead? What do I think is more interesting? If she's alive or if she's dead? Because she's supposed to be a great spellcaster, and I want to know more about spells. I'm gonna say Arlene's alive in some way, shape, or form. Right? Like, I think she's gone, but I got no proof outside of her absence. Right? Who saw her get got? Who got her? Was it Gus Dang? You know, if Zahar hadn't left the Bam and friends alone, Bam most likely wouldn't have had beef with him, want to attack him. Sorry. This was from chapter 631. Nah, you never got back to me about this from Mr. Postage again. Just a crazy theory I'm putting out there. The most interesting thing about this chapter was the fact that Thor called V a user. Okay. The purpose of the tower is to create an access according to the Tales user story. The fact that V was the first person to enter the rice pot and was given the blessing from Thor could mean that he was potentially the only one out of the 13 warriors to become one after completing the climb. Now, what if Zahard realized this fact while climbing the tower, and towards the end floors, V was already reaching those omnipotent levels? This would become a hindrance to Z becoming the king of the tower and realizing his fate. He was already jealous of V because of Arlene, and V was always better than him. Now, going into crazy theory, what if the outside god soul inside Bam is actually V's, because he potentially could be an Axis if he completed the climb? Through his dead son, maybe V is fulfilling his original crusade of climbing the tower and helping the Towerborns reach the summit sky of the tower. Now, for the following chapter, my thoughts are as follows. Bam presently possesses two souls. His own, which is an outside God placed in him, the Son, plus V's soul, which Arlene placed in him as a means of reviving V. Not literally, but through his memory, so Bam could understand that his parents' wrath and fulfill the prophecy to slit the king's throat. Everything is too organized for me. Why were you take the soul stirring ladle from the floor of death? Why did Loose Lake suddenly become active again? Why were you comments in chapter 631? It was as if everything had been planned from the start. V's suicide was a sacrifice to resurrect Bam's body, a soul for another soul. A reference to soul, yeah, I get it. Soul for a soul. And in the MCU version at the very least. Okay, I like this. This is really good. I like a theory. Very well done. I think the user part, though, I think it's just maybe what they called regulars before regulars, or it could be a translation thing, but that's just my 2 cents. Bam at this point should understand that a lot of the people he knows and likes are anti-family heads, so inevitably he'll have to fight them. Yeah. Do you guys remember what did they tell us what the soul stirring label does? I forgot what it does. Does it stir souls? Arlene left the 43rd floor with 2 bodies, Bam and V. She left the 43rd floor, stirring ladle. Did Arlene use the ladle to put V? Okay, so you think she went scoop? Pow. I did some trickery, some magic. What was this? This is not magic. This is magic. Okay. I don't think V is the father of Bam, but is the son of Arlene and V. Viole, who was a child that God killed. Bam is the consciousness that was put into V's body. I'm not current, but I agree with the theory that V is not Bam's father. I believe the theory that Bam being Zahar's son. That there's a saying in the tower that a princess of Zahar will come and take the last test on the 135th floor. That son of Z is Bam. I believe Wagner will save Bam at least once to repay his favors. Bam may give his body to whatever this V is and will be saved by Kun and Wagner. Another thing is Gus Dang said Bam's father is the worst person he knows. He never said his father was V or Zahar. I believe Gus Dang hates Zahar more than V. So there's a big chance that Bam is Z's child by or other means. I mean, I hear you, but I think for me to even really subscribe to that theory, I have to believe what you believe, and I don't. I don't think Zahar has any children. At least biological children that he's sired with another woman. Maybe he's got his clones and his experiments or vestiges of his power that's been split up, but yeah, that's what I think at least. Soul, scoop out souls, I don't know. I think it's something to do with the moving souls. Soul, sheep on easy. We still have that plot line with the Madarako, who I think still has a thorn fragment. But remember, he does have one, doesn't he? I recall that being mentioned maybe at the beginning of season 3. After seeing what V looks like, I think Baza is a dead theory. Some people seem to be still convinced. Okay. I wish V. That Voldemort theory is killing me. Not the Voldemort theory. What's up, Sage? What's happening, boy? I wish V resurrects like Voldemort, take Bam's power and items, and Bam gets kicked out of FUG and turns back into a regular level person that has to learn from scratch and continue to climb with his team while hearing the accomplishment of his father as he terrorizes the Jihad Empire. V. Finally, after so many years, I'm back. You did well, my son. I'll take those thorns now. Welcome back, my lord. We have work to do. Daddy, please! I don't want you to start a war. Viola, it seems our journey ends here. I can't guide you anymore. Thank you for bringing our leader back to life. Farewell, son of V. Light charge. I think V being inside Bam kind of recontextualizes the fight with White. That mode he went into at the time was probably tapping into V's power or something. Especially with all the resentment Bam had towards White, nearly dying might have allowed whatever that power to come forth. Either way, it'll be interesting coming back to it after this arc is over. Fuck that fight. The power Arlene found to awaken her dead child's body as she preserved is infused with a keepsake with the memories of V within Bam's deep vessel, but it isn't really V. That's why Arlene didn't care for Bam and left him in the cave hiding, even though she's alive, also in hiding. My theory. Seems like V seems like a piece of shit, but I'm probably wrong. All I know is Zahar isn't as bad as some think. Are you a Zahar defender? I'm a V hater. Land 96. I'm watching you. Watch out. When did V turn into Sukuna, taking all the Bam's potential on some Megumi ish? I don't know. I'm just black. You 10 toe down for Jihad? Not me. Not me. Where is blood matter? Where is Hendo Lock blood matter? That's what I want to see. I do really wonder if the line drawn where V speaks from the same line where Bam drew from Dazahar. That would make so much sense considering Bam partially awakened him and then got fully awakened now. That would also make sense as to why Bam's true power is V's, making Bam just a vessel for V until V's ready to take over. I think V was put inside of Bam by Arlene to protect him, but he wasn't supposed to awaken this early. I think the factor to awaken him was seeing Zahar in person for the first time. The piece of V would feel him and his own resentment towards Zahar. The man decided to betray him by stopping the climb, trying to steal his girl, and then straight up killing her child. Would reawaken the soul to help Bam. I think Bam was given V to help him surpass Zahar and climb further. Let me just refresh this to see if there are any new comments. That happens sometimes. Nope, I don't think there's anything new. I think we're good. All right. Okay. All right. Ultimately, we just don't know enough. We really got to sit down with this and really see how everything shapes up. But that is what I wanted to say for so goddamn long. I fucking remember. Okay. Oh, I don't want to spoil this plot twist. I'll be very vague. If you guys like Clamp, one of my favorite manga of all time is called Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. It is actually in a sense, it is a sequel to Card Captor Sakura. You might know it as Card Captors, right? And that story has two sides. One with Yuko and the witch. And the other side with Lee Shaoran, Sakura, Fai, Kurogane, and the rest of them. There is a moment where something I had never experienced with the main character happened, and there was a bit of a swap, which completely flipped the story on its head. Yep, Holic Bros, Tsubasa Bros, Clamp Gang, hell yeah, right? So I think if this V stuff holds a lot of credence, it will completely recontextualize a lot of things in the story and completely turn it on its head, which would be interesting. But you know how I am. I'm gonna give you I haven't used this example in a while. Dragon Ball GT. I didn't finish it. I don't like the first arc with Baby or whatever. I don't really care for it. I don't care for the Super 17 whatever arc saga. But the Shadow Dragon saga is absolutely brilliant conceptually. In concept. How it was executed, dog shit. Hot dog water. But the idea of being punished for overuse of the Dragon Balls and like a really powerful evil entity in Dragon's, I like that idea. But how you actually have it play out is going to matter to me the most. So with this whole V conundrum, for me, it's going to be all about execution. I don't know that I like it or care about it. I want to see a body, another, Hollow Ichigo, Ninetales Naruto, shit, Joe, nope. Someone might be listening. I'm not going to spoil that one. But, the whole, we'll have to see, because even Nanatsu no Taizai or something like this too, with the Demon King, it's just the body gimmick thing doesn't always work. But if it's more stuff to push his character and morality and challenge his dad and the feelings of resentment him and his mom had and get over it and let him do it his way and believe in him that he can change the tower, maybe it could go in a cool direction. So yeah. You ever watch Dragon Ball GTA? Nah, I watched Dragon Ball PP though. All of those bozos mean nothing to Bam compared to couldn't rack. Goku ended up going Super Saiyan Mandem in that one. Yo, Mandem? Do you guys have any final comments, questions, commentary, prognostications, theories, anything to say about this whole V conundrum? If not, I'm gonna wrap up. Again, this is a theory that I pretty much rejected. So I'm not allowed to have thoughts. I gotta just take my L. I hope V is a bum. Give me blood matter, man. Blood matter gonna be raw, bro. Y'all sleeping on him. He's the one. He's the one. Tomorrow we're gonna do the tier lists. There's items and something else. I don't remember. We'll do that tomorrow. What's the matter? Blood matter. I've had enough of you. I'm not streaming Friday or the weekend, but y'all got me till Thursday. So be safe. Take care of each other. Love one another. Torque on something, huh? Yo, what's up, Patreon people? I appreciate you guys as always for the continued support. Or if you're new, shout out to the CBLs. That's the certified BAM lovers. But a bigger shout out to the Priest of Fire. That's Brilliant Gang. They might be the real CBLs. And the biggest shout out to the 5th Zen Gods, the tier 3s. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Johnny Rogers, Big Mon Catan, Lucky Roo, Revenant, Scobe, Simi, Urek Mazzino, Wolf General, Sadler Scotty, Big Abdel, Agrona Vitera, Childish Nujabis, Cisco, Gray, and Huey. Your support is greatly appreciated. What's happened to my voice? Thank you. Let's do this. Oh shit, this music stopped playing? My bad, yo. My bad. The 20